Welcome to European Railway issue number 93, the DVD magazine for the continental enthusiast. In this programme, we have part 2 of our Austrian feature, looking at the main line linking Passau with Wels. A journey to Switzerland to witness Sunday morning action at the station at Turgi, just to the northwest of Zürich. It's off to southern France next, as we look at action on the line between Marseille and Avignon. The second instalment of our look at the busy Italian route to the north of Genoa. And part 1 of a feature on the BLS line from Goppenstein to Leyden, just outside of Brig. We begin the programme in Austria, and part 2 of our look at the busy European rail freight corridor linking Passau in Germany with Wels in Austria. In part 1 we looked at the northern section down from Passau, and in this section we continue our journey south, calling in to locations along the line as seen here on our maps. Located in the west of the country, the line is known as the Passaubahn, where it then feeds into the Westbahn main line at Wels. We begin close to the small hamlet of Linden, to the south of Andorf, where we finished part 1, included in European Railway issue number 90. Approaching the camera on a very wet 29th of May 2019 is 185532, on intermodal train number 41941 from Duisburg in Germany to Wels. The time is just after 11:30. Almost catching us out was 1142610 on this local passenger working from Passau. The train is passed by 1144210 working a service from Neumarkt Callum to Passau. Class 4024 units also appear on local trains. This is number 052 working the 1150 from Linz to Passau. On this occasion, 182565 is seen heading train 41161 from Warna Eickel in Germany to Budapest. This is one of the regular LKW Volta intermodal shuttles seen on this line. It's time to move on now, and we head south to our next chosen location at the station at Kimpling. The weather was still not playing ball, and the rain meant that we were confined to the shelter on the northernmost platform. 185536 is first to appear on a set of tanks, we think from the large chemical works just to the south of Budapest in Hungary. One 193856 passes with containers from Bremerhaven to Linz. The brief respite in the weather didn't last long. Here 1142-598 powers the rain-soaked 1325 service from Linz to Scharding. Ten minutes later, and 1144-121 provides the power for the 1350 from Linz to Passau. Eleven 16-105 passes with train 47162 from Győr in Hungary to Bremen with new Audi cars. Every 2 hours in each direction we get an ICE service, linking Frankfurt, Dortmund and Hamburg with Vienna and return. 411075 is forming the 0747 from Hamburg to Vienna. One 164-104 heads north with mixed freight EZ 44912. The 1442 from Linz to Nuremberg. Up to 4 freight trains can be seen on this line each hour, although there are some quiet periods where just 2 are seen. southeast, and we have the first of our final two locations, where we finish up at just south of Kringelbach, a few kilometres north of Velz. The line between Kimpling and here at Weiderau is largely bounded by sound barriers and makes photography very difficult. This is the first real open area as 2016077 heads south with a special freight conveying army materials. (2043-010) is a regular visitor on this line and is seen here working train SNG 91687 from Scharding to Neumarkt-Kellum. The train will then continue on towards Velz. This is a trip freight which the Loco works most days, as well as regular sorties to and from the town of Ried. We now move east and to a pair of locations not far from Kringelbach, at the town of Harding. The two locations are shown in more detail here on this map. 195658 is owned by hire company MRCE and on hire to EcoRail. Here it powers south on empty car-ticks, forming train 47173 from Bremerhaven to Devinska Nova Vis. (411.005) forms ICE 22, the 1515 from Vienna to Dortmund. As we have already seen, DB Cargo Class 185s are frequent visitors to this line, working in many instances to and from the main marshalling yard at Vienna. This is number 206, seen on a special military train. (193.980) is an example of one of the most popular classes of loco currently in operation throughout Europe. Construction of the type first began in 2010, and they are still rolling off the Siemens production line with over 1,050 examples like this now in current day operation. In addition are the latest Germany-only versions known as Smartron, where 38 locomotives have currently been built. Just to the south of the town, the line curves, giving this view of 1144.123, seen heading north on the 15th of July 2019. Due to an issue with an ICE set, this scratch-built rake of coaches powered by 1116236 and 050 was used from Vienna to Passau. This is 20431010 again, on another trip freight from Scharding to Wels. (1144-278) is next to be seen on a working for Passau. (2070-013) was engaged in a local ballast drop and is seen here returning the empty wagon back to Wels. Class 5022 diesel units pop up on services between Wels and Braunau. This is set number 020. Our final scene is of another diesel service bound for Braunau, this time powered by 2016-075. This is a fairly busy line and is well worth a visit should you get the chance. Switzerland sees a fairly normal passenger timetable operating over the weekend, with plenty of trains to view. So it was on the morning of Sunday the 26th of May 2019 that we made our way to Turgi. Located in the north of the country on the main line between Zürich and Basel, the station is located a few kilometres east of Brig, on the junction of the line which extends north to Koblenz. The sun was still in the east, so the platform on the north side on the Zürich end of the station was our preferred location. Double-deck Stadler-built Class 511 units are a regular sight here, working many S-Bahn services and inter-regional trains. This is set number 044. Inter-regional Loco-hauled trains operate on the route to and from Basel as well as Bern. 511030 is working train RE4764, the 942 from Wettingen to Olten. It's common for trains to pass each other in the station. Here 460.025 rounds the corner with a service from Basel to Zürich. Number 044 brings up the rear. $460,002 has recently gone through an overhaul and is out and about, this time hauling the 936 from Zürich to Basel. There are intercity and interregional trains here every 30 minutes in each direction, alternating between Bern and Basel. Some of the Basel trains are formed with RE44 electric locos. This is 11141. From the December 2020 timetable change, diagrams for this type of locomotive are being substantially reduced as they are gradually taken out of frontline service. Class 511s entered traffic around Zurich in March 2011 and have been a great success, with various follow-on orders, not only in Switzerland but by other operators in other countries in Europe, notably in Austria and Germany. Whilst this track maintenance equipment waits for its next job, the station here is very open, with good views of the passing trains. Around 20 trains each hour can be seen here, with freight trains accounting for another 2 to 4 an hour, but these are mainly on weekdays. 460069 rounds the bend from the Brig direction, powering the 913 Basel to Zurich interregional service. A sound which accompanies Sunday mornings are the bells from local churches. 511053 arrives from the south with a service for Brig. The only freight train we saw was this, headed by number 420247. 511053 is passed by preserved red double arrow unit number 1021. Built in 1939, it was used to convey Winston Churchill on a state visit to the country in September 1946. It is the sole survivor of 3 units that were built between 1939 and 1953 for special charter traffic. Designated as Class RAE48, number 1021 was completely refurbished by SBB in 2004 and is currently used on special excursion dining trains, such as the one we see here. (460.041) brings up the rear of the 1036 from Zürich to Basel into regional service. A whole host of Class 460s in this view. We have numbers 093, 014 and 064. Class 560 units are also regular performers here on trains to and from Waldshut. 56298 approaches the camera with sister unit number 268 working a service in the opposite direction. Finally, it is with 3 Class RE44s that we conclude this section. 111145 and 129 pass fellow classmate number 11108. Since this film was taken, number 108 in the Swiss Express orange and grey livery has been withdrawn, leaving number 11109 as the sole remaining class member in these colours. It's France next, as we call into the busy main line running past the small town of Saint-Martin-de-Crau, situated in the southern part of the country, south of Avignon, and around 10 kilometres to the west of the railway town of Miramas. We chose two locations close to the town, the first within the nearby industrial estate, and the other not far from the town station. The early morning sun shines on diesel locomotive number 75075, heading west with a set of empty ballast hoppers. This line sees a good number of passenger services, notably in the peak periods, and they include local workings such as this, formed by unit number Z24608. Sister unit Z27895 has not long departed the local station, with a service bound for Avignon. Freight traffic generally heads to and from the port of Fos-sur-Mer, or the main yard at Miramas. Here 27148, on long-term hire to VFLI, is seen heading east at just after 8 am. BB37000 electrics were still being used on local services. Here 22259 pushes at the rear of the 0722 from Marseille to Avignon. All these locos have since been transferred to the Alsace region, where they work local trains out of Strasbourg. Up until the end of 2018, the Marseille to Bordeaux services were in the hands of BB7200s. They are now operated by BB22200s. This is 22233 heading for Bordeaux. Vossloh G2000 locomotives are notoriously difficult to identify. This one is 1272608, an ex-Colas rail loco in the blue and silver of Angel Trains Cargo, seen here working for freight operator GTF SAS in company with G1206 diesel number 61017. This is Z27608. (22323) is seen next at the head of the 0648 service from Toulouse. BB37000s also operate the 2-hourly TER trains to and from Lyon and Marseille. This is 22309. We move around a kilometre east now and not far from the town station. Heading towards the camera is BB37000 loco number 125 on a container train, seen heading in the Miramas direction. Container trains are common on this line, heading for the port of Fos-sur-Mer, or onwards towards Marseille. Number 27161 is seen in this view. BB37000 still turn up on freight. This is number 22376, still resplendent in its original concrete and orange livery. Following along are 27041, 6155 and 27038. 8 freight trains were seen here in our 5-hour stopover. TGV set number 015 is seen passing with the 0654 service from Lille. Finally, another classic Loco-hauled formation, as 22240 passes in charge of the 638 from Bordeaux to Marseille. In this section we have part 2 of our feature looking at the main rail routes north of Genoa, in the northwest region of Italy. The map here shows our main filming locations, which are around the small town of Isola del Cantone. We shall begin our visit with a quick view at Mignanego, before heading north and covering the line between Roncoscrivia and Pietrabisara. All scenes were filmed between 2016 and 2019, and we begin in the south, slightly away from our main filming area at Mignanego, as Class 633 Electric number 215 heads north on a container train. A Class 464 single cab electric passes in the opposite direction, with another on the rear. Over 700 of these machines were built, with 717 in service with just one withdrawal to date due to accident damage. Moving north now, and we are at Ronco-Scrivia, where the twin lines north of Genoa briefly come together before tunnelling under the mountains. This is a busy station and a good one to observe the action, and our location offers this vantage point of 402168, hauling train IC 519 from Salerno to Torino. (652.073) is next to appear with a southbound container train. Inter-regional trains operate every hour in each direction during the peak times, and are nearly always in the hands of Class 464s, which date from the early noughties. This is 464570. Class 655 are a re-geared freight version of the popular Class 656 passenger locos. The last of the Class 655s and 656s were finally withdrawn from traffic during 2020. This is 655509. Just to the north are the twin tunnels taking the two lines through the nearby hills. The river Scrivia flows underneath. Moving north, and we are at Isola del Cantone, a location we briefly visited in part 1 of this feature, covered in the previous issue of European Railway. Heading north is a Class 464 powered regional train. Watch closely and you can see this heron looking for its next catch. Siemens Vectron number 191001 was delivered new in February 2013 and moved to Italy for type approval in July the same year. It was hired and subsequently sold by Siemens to private freight operator InRail from 2016 onwards. Here it heads north. Bombardier Class 483 Trax Electrics began to appear in Italy in 2007 and now total 72 machines built for use on the Italian rail network. The town here is fairly small, with a population of just over 1,500, and is on the original line which opened through here in December 1853. A Class 402 heads this northbound intercity service. (402-136) is one of 80 members of the Class 402B series, which are now the mainstay of the remaining local hauled intercity services working throughout the country. Their dual voltage capability also allows them to work over the new high-speed lines. Moving slightly northwest of the town, a good view can be had of southbound workings. Heading towards the camera is a Class 444 on an empty stock working. As previously mentioned, most of these locos have now been withdrawn, and those remaining are only seen at work on empty stock movements such as this. Container trains are regular performers along this line, often running from ports such as Genoa and Livorno to terminals in the Torino and Milano areas. Another Class 444 heads south. Moving north once more, and we are at the river bridge not far from the village of Prarallo. A Class 444 is the first loco to be seen, followed by a Pendolino set. A Class 656 heads north. Class 633 electrics were introduced between 1979 and 1988 and are still found at work across the network on freight services, although now in very small numbers, with most workings taken over by the similar looking Class 652s. We now switch between locations to break up our scenes, and we therefore return to our previous position, where another container train makes its way down the valley towards Isola del Cantone. It's back to Prorolo again, as this Class 655 heads south towards Genoa. Our last series of locations are around the village of Pietrapezzara. We begin at the spot shown in the north of our map. This is the 1210 from Milano to La Spezia intercity service, with a now withdrawn Class 444 electric at the helm. Local wildlife keeps our cameraman happy in between trains. An interesting working here, a pair of Class 464s head east, probably bound for Genoa after coming off maintenance.
Non la vedi bene con quella?
La vedi piccola.
Closer to the village is this shot, where an empty stock movement sees no less than 3 Class 655s in the train consist. 444052 is in charge of the 1035 from La Spezia to Milano intercity service. On the other side of the viaduct we get this view of 655126 on a westbound container train. This is the village station as 444095 passes through with a Nice to Milano Eurocity service. Not included on our maps was this location just to the west of the village. A pair of 444s head a train from La Spezia to Milano. This is a fairly busy line, and photographic opportunities are available at a number of locations, even though both lines do travel through numerous tunnels. It's well worth a visit if you are in the area. The final section in this programme takes us back to Switzerland, and the first in a two-part feature looking at the BLS mountain line between Goppenstein to a point not far from Brig. Our map shows the extent of the line covered, with the first part looking mainly at the action at Goppenstein, before a look at a superb view close to the station at Houten. We begin on the north side of the platforms at Goppenstein, close to the 14.6 km long Lötschberg tunnel. The station here is the best place to see the remaining BLS RE44 Class 425 electric locomotives at work. These veteran machines are used on the frequent car-shuttle trains operating between here and Kandersteg. The frequent car train shuttles will be our focus in this section. Here we see loco number 173 starting a northbound shuttle. It will soon be passed by number 180 on a similar inbound working. Number 172, built in 1970, is on the rear of the next service to be seen. With this track machine parked up in the siding, number 188 will appear next on another working from Kandersteg. This particular locomotive has since been withdrawn from traffic. A view here of no less than 4 car shuttle trains in the station at the same time. Number 191 passes through on its way to Kandersteg. Services operate every 30 minutes in each direction, and a single car ticket price is 25 Swiss francs. During the busy summer, there is a more frequent service operating on Friday and Saturdays, with a number of through trains taking cars to Iselle through the Simplon tunnel. We leave Goppenstein and head to the Leigelkin viaduct near to Houghton station, where the Rhône Valley provides a superb backdrop. Thank you for watching this edition of European Railway.